Every day, millions of people board airplanes, and it feels so ordinary. We barely even give it a second thought. But for most of human history, flight was considered impossible. So what happened? How did we conquer the skies? Long before the first airplane took to the skies, there was this story from ancient Greece about a boy named Icarus. His father had crafted wings from feathers and wax so that they could escape captivity. But the story has it that Icarus flew too close to the sun, so the wax melted, the wings failed, and he plunged deep into the sea. Now, even though this was just a myth, it revealed that our fascination with flight had begun long before we had any idea how to achieve it. This fascination inspired one of the earliest recorded attempts in history about flight. A man known as Abbas ibn Finas in the 9th century built a flying machine. He launched himself from an elevated hill in what is known as present-day Spain. He remained airborne briefly, although he eventually made a hard landing that caused him injuries, and this was reportedly because his design lacked a proper tail for stability during landing. Hundreds of years later, in the late 1400s, Leonardo da Vinci sketched incredible flying machines. His designs, such as the ornithopter, mimicked the motion of birds' wings. Now, although the technology of his time was not advanced enough to bring his sketches to life, but his ideas were generations ahead of everyone else. And then, in November 1783, the Montgolfier brothers achieved another major milestone. Their hot air balloon carried 2 men on the first confirmed free human flight in France. This was particularly significant because for the first time, humans rose into the sky without being tethered to the ground. A few decades later, another breakthrough arrived. George Cayley, who is often called the father of modern aerodynamics, designed and built gliders based on the revolutionary idea that lift, propulsion, and control should be treated as separate functions. These concepts still define modern airplanes today. Now, while others were focused on simply getting airborne, Cayley studied the forces that make flight possible. These are lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Building on Cayley's discoveries, German aviation pioneer Otto Lilienthal built and flew a series of gliders, completing more than 2,000 flights and demonstrating that repeated gliding was possible. Although he eventually died in a flying accident in 1896, his experiments inspired a new generation of inventors, including the Wright brothers. By the end of the 19th century, the mystery of flight was slowly being solved. Inventors now understood the principles. What remained was building a machine with enough power which could also be controlled in air. Then, in December 1903, 2 brothers from Ohio did exactly that, Wilbur and Orville Wright. They achieved the world's first sustained, controlled, and powered flight. Their breakthrough wasn't only in building a lightweight engine that could generate power, but also in developing the practical system for controlling an aircraft in all 3 axes, which are roll, pitch, and yaw. By solving the problem of control, they made human flight practical and reproducible. Following their success in 1909, Louis Blériot advanced the mechanical design of airplanes and became the first person to fly across the English Channel. This proved that airplanes could travel beyond local demonstrations and short experimental flights. That same year, the US Army bought the Wright military flyer for $30,000. The army saw airplanes as a faster way to scout enemy positions, relay messages, and observe battlefields from above. Governments around the world took notice and began pouring money into aircraft development and therefore accelerating innovation. Then the two world wars came, which drove aircraft technology forward faster than ever before. In just a few decades, airplanes evolved from fragile wooden machines into powerful long-range bombers like the B-29 Super Fortress and high-performance fighters like the P-47 Thunderbolt. After the wars, aircrafts began connecting continents. Jet engines made global travel faster than ever before. Advances in navigation and safety also transformed flying into one of the safest means to travel. Today, millions of people board airplanes every single day. Families reunite across oceans, businesses span continents, and cultures connect beautifully. It is incredible to think that this journey, which existed as myths, continued through the courage of inventors who were willing to learn, to fail, and to try again. The story of flight isn't only about airplanes, but that of humanity refusing to accept its limits. If you enjoy stories like this, subscribe and join me as we uncover more fascinating stories from flight and beyond. I'll see you in the next one.